All right, everybody. Lafayette here is here again, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about improvising in the jazz style. And there are going to be a few video clips in this series. One of the first things I'm going to talk about is the blues. I got a book here that I recommend just about the blues for pianists. One of the important things to be able to do is get your left hand going into the boogie-woogie style. And I'd say it's so important because so how old it is. Boogie-woogie is a style that became popular on the piano, I want to say in the 1920s. And this book is really good as far as talking about the blues, the evolution of the blues, and how to play it. One of the main things you need is that left hand, those different left hand patterns. Call them static patterns. And one of the main things that you hear. Yeah, see blues in a boogie woogie pattern, and that's like one of the few that I'm kind of good at. I learned I didn't have a book like this when I learned the boogie woogie. I met a guy named Sammy Price who UB Blake crowned him the king of boogie woogie. I met Sammy in I think it was 1983 or 84 in the summertime. Yeah, summer of 1984, and he was playing at a club in Aspen, Colorado, for about a month, and I got there the last 2 weeks of his residency. Hung out with him daily. He taught me how to play the blues, the boogie woogie blues, like he played it, and also worked on a lot of basic jazz playing too, because he did play jazz as well. Let's see. So I remember after hearing him play, I don't know what did I did. I think I had an idea what that dun, 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 dun thing was that you just heard me play. And so the next night after I met him, the first time I went back to the club after hours, and he said, "I'm gonna teach you how to play the boogie woogie." And I said, "I got this right here." And I said, "Dun dun 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 dun." After a couple choruses of doing that, he says, "Oh, great, good. Now do something with your right hand." Yeah, my right hand said, "What?" Just like my face did right there. And my right hand. So that's the other thing you got to do is develop how to get those licks going in the right hand. The chapter 4 of this book starts it. This book is arranged so uh, he, the author, his name is Author Migliazza. Okay, it doesn't sound like a real blues cat to me. It's not Sammy Price, but you know, it's these people study the traditions and they make books about it. And a name that I can pronounce, Dave Rubin. Again, doesn't sound like Sammy Price or Meade Lux Lewis or Pine Top Smith or nobody like that. So these boogie woogie experts were, for the most part, African American men, and they had some killing women too, and some killing children. But primarily black men who took the sound of what the guitar players were doing. A guy named Sammy used to always talk about Blind Lemon Jefferson, who was a blind man who played the guitar and walked around playing the blues all day and walked from town to town. He could walk all over without being led. As a matter of fact, Sammy said he wouldn't allow you to lead him. And the dun 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 star sound was actually a guitar sound, and the piano players came and started doing it. And in my opinion, they ended up dominating it. You got the Jimmy Yancey lick. And Jimmy Yancey was another great contributor to the blues and boogie-woogie. Let's see, variations on the theme. Let me just play the book, Jimmy, see what he's talking about with the Jimmy Yancey look. I've taught from this book a little bit. I had a few students who wanted to learn how to play boogie-woogie. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Oh, yes, it is mucho funky. Mucho funky. I've heard that many times in my listening and being around the old cats. When I was learning how to play music back in the late 70s and the 80s, and man, whew, you get around some of the real old cats and they hit that, and the whole club explodes. It really gets to the ear of the people, man. I didn't expect that to be so funky. I was just, reading it the best I could. All right, so, yeah, that you need these phrases. We need these phrases, and as an audience, when I be in the audience paying my money to hear jazz, I need to hear them. I need to hear these phrases, and when you're on a date with a lady who's not a musician and who likes to listen, it just makes everything better when you hear all good blues licks. Okay, now lick. He goes on and on and on, or not on and on and on. It's good. It's good stuff. But lick number 7, I'm going to skip ahead and to it, and he finally starts talking about something that a lot of people talk first about, including myself when I teach, and that's scales, the blues scale. And the first one he talks about is maybe not the one that's most common. This one, lick number 7, if you can see that there, they call it in this book, and I agree, it's a great title to call it by the major blues scale. And it is composed of the 5 notes of the pentatonic scale. So in the key of C, it'd be C, D, E, G, and A. That's 5 notes. And then they add a half stack between the 2nd D and the 3rd E. So that'll be D sharp or E flat. Man, great sounding scale. Yeah, that major blues sound is, I hear that a lot, and was very big in the boogie-woogie style, and it's a lot, it's very big in pop bluesy sounding music, especially something that the singers sing. See, when I did that last little phrase, I can hear somebody like the Pointer Sisters, giving that phrase. See that right there, that minor third to the third. Yeah, so that's as they give it that really not too raunchy, but soulful, and sort of a blend between sophisticated and bluesy, almost churchy gospel. As a matter of fact, the gospel people use those scales too. All right, so that's lick number 7, the major blues scale, and then give some good exercises and an example of playing a tune with that. And that started on page 65, the major blues scale, and this is on 67. It's got a little tune of what or whatever. Okay, I haven't really checked it out. I haven't really studied this book, only flipped through it. Okay, and the last one they talk about is the most common, and that's the minor blues scale. All right, so that's the first part of the blues demonstration. Come on back later for the second part, where I'll actually get into the more common blues scale, the minor blues scale.